Hi everybody, this is Lynn and you're watching Crazy for Crafting. Today I'm going to make a little mini album that most of you I'm sure have made, and you make them out of the toilet paper cores. Now, this is one I got, and it's not this color, it's this color, kind of a whitish gray. I don't like that either. I got several different kinds, and they're all different sizes. So I said, the heck with this, I'm going to make one out of cardstock and show you how to do it. So we're going to get rid of that, and here's where we're going to start. Okay. First off, you're going to need some chipboard. One 8.5 by 11 or 12 by 12. You're not going to need the whole thing, because this is all you're going to need of it. So you can make two of these out of one 12 by 12. Okay, and then you've got your front and your back, and both of these are 3 inches by 5.5 inches. Then you've got your bottom piece, which is 3 by 1 3/4. You've got your top piece, which is 3 by 1 7/8, and then you've got the flat part, which is 3 by 2 3/4. And then you're going to need something to wrap it in. So pick out your papers. Now, I have some of this left over from another project I did, and I like this. It's from Die Cuts with a View, and it's called Immortal Love. And I'm going to make the toilet paper insert out of craft cardstock. And then, to make it stronger, we'll add mats on both sides of it so that it gets real thick and it's heavy duty. So first off, we're going to make the cover. So you're going to need two pieces. These are 3 wide, so make these 4 inches wide, and you're going to need to put them together because it's a little longer, than your 12 inches. Now I'm going to use some Miracle tape. It's just like score tape, but I've been buying this for a while and I absolutely love it. So with Miracle tape, you get, instead of 27 yards like you do with score tape, you get 55, and it's basically the same price. So, and this, what I like about it is that I use the 3/8, because usually everything's got a 1/2 inch on it, and if you use the 1/4 inch tape, which I'll show you, the 1/4 inch tape, and here's a 1/2 inch. See, there's way too much left. If you try and use the 1/2 inch, it's basically almost too wide to get on there. Okay, so for years I've been ordering the 3/8 because that's in between and that fits nicely. So that's why I use the 3/8 most of the time. Okay, so back to this. We're going to take the backing off this. We're going to put these two together. Whoops. Okay, let's see here. Let's get this straight on here. I like to work on the grids because it always makes things a little easier to get straight. Okay, we're going to do some varnishing so that we know this is sticking good. And this will wind up kind of like on the bottom. Okay, so you're going to take see, here's your flap. Okay, now I'm going to use this to put it down with, but you should use your double-sided sticky tape because it will hold it better. But for doing the video, I'm going to do this. Okay, take your flap and place it in the center from here to here and about a 1/2 inch up. Okay, because you're going to wrap this. Now, there's your flap. Then take the top piece, which now the top piece is 3 inches by 1 7/8. It's just 1/8 of an inch bigger than the bottom because it's going to wrap. Now what I do is I usually take either 2 widths of my chipboard or I use my ruler. So here I've got 2 pieces cut together, and you want to put this piece and line it up. Okay, and this gives you room so that you can fold this without tearing your paper. Then you want to use your front or your back. They're the same size, and the same thing. Put this down. And press. Now we're going to do the bottom piece. Again, we're going to hold this and see if, whoops, I made a mistake there, didn't I? Okay, let's try that again. Okay, and see, I don't know if you can see, there we go. Here is where I put the 2 sheets together. So that seam is actually going to be on the bottom. Okay, now we're going to take the last piece and do the same thing. Stick this here. Okay. And then down here you want to leave a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to take my craft knife and cut that piece off. So now you have the whole cover. Okay, and then what we're going to do now, you definitely have to use your double-sided tape to hold this on. Okay, so I'm going to go down both sides and see, with this being 3/8 of an inch wide, I don't have to put tape on this and this because it's this little bit that's here is wrapping around. Then I want to put a little piece on both ends, and you really don't need more than that 1/2 inch. Go to the other end. Okay, now I'm going to take and go around and burnish my score tape or miracle tape or whatever kind you're going to use. And then on the corner, I'm just going to cut my edges. And I just let my thing hang over just a hair over. So that I get a good fit. Okay, let's see if you can see how there's a little bit of room right there, because that's going to make this bend and fold into itself and look a whole lot more professional. Okay, now you want to go around and bend. I like to do it this way on the desk. Okay, get it started. Same with this side. And I'll set it down, bend it a little at a time. Like that. Also, if you do it this way and you start here, when you get to this part where it's doubled about 5/8 of an inch, it won't be on one of the seams. It'll be in the center of that bottom piece, and you don't have to worry about the stress of it. Now you can take your bone folder and go along the edge like this, and make sure you've got it up there tight. And all this does is help it to form. Okay, now I'm going to take off our pieces, and then it folds over real nice. Okay, and I like to do both ends first, the little ends. See how easy that went over? Okay, now here there's a little extra sticking over, and that's where you want to take your bone folder and get in there like this real tight and bend it. And then you can take your tape off, and you want to go just a little at a time. Okay, and we're going to take the bone folder and now we're going to do the other side. Okay, do a little bit at a time. Okay, and then really get in there with burnishing it, the double-sided tape on it, on the paper, and then burnishing it on to the cardstock. It's going to stick really well. Now, if you look up here at this corner, can you see how it comes perfectly in? And you look at the edge of it, and it's nice. Okay, now you're going to take your bone folder, and you're going to go in between each one of these little creases. And you're going to slowly bend this up. And the reason you have that double thickness in there is so that when it does bend, see, it's nice and bent, totally, real tight, and it's not cracking. Okay, go to the next one. Okay. And there's your outside. Okay. Now, on to the next part. Okay, before we go on to the next step, I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to take my black, in this case, and go around the edges to give it a little bit more definition. Okay. And instead of using a sponge for this part, I just want the edge done and nothing, you know, spread out all over. So that was black stays on. Okay. Now, if you like, if you really want to make it kind of vintage, right here where it bends. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll make it more vintage. Right where it bends, just take and do that. It just gives it more definition. Bend there. Okay, so now you see, can you see the definition? There you go. See, you can really see the definition now. Okay, so for now, this part is good. We're not going to do anything else with this until we make our little toilet paper rings. I don't know what those are actually called. The roll inside the toilet paper. Okay, so we're going to need 6 pieces of cardstock. Now, I chose to use the craft cardstock because I wanted to do the craft and the red and the black, because I kind of like those all together. So I think totally I only used 2 12 by 12s of the craft cardstock. I mean, you can use the 8.5 by 11, but you get a lot out of the 12 by 12. So here you're going to cut 6 of these, and they're going to be 2. So it's 4.5 this way and 6 this way. Then you're going to take and you're going to score it. I'll get out my scoreboard. Okay, and I got most of them done. I've got a couple here. Okay. So you're going to score it at 2 3/4 and at 5.5. And you're going to fold it like this, and there is your toilet paper tube. Okay, I got one more here. 2 3/4 and 5.5. Okay. Then you've got all of these, and you'll bend them all. And number 6. Okay. And we're going to glue them here on the side. But now from the rest of your 12 by 12, you're going to get a few pieces out of each one that's going to make you a couple of these, and then the other part of it will make the rest. So you want 6 of these like tags, okay? And these are 4 1/4 by 2 5/8. They're not super snug, but they don't jiggle around a lot, and that's what you want. That way they won't come out quite too easy. Okay, and you're going to make 6 of these, so that'll be the rest of what's left of one of your 12 by 12 pieces of cardstock. Now, you can leave the ends like this. You can angle them. You can put a hole in the center like a regular tag. You could do it like, let's see, I think on this one I'm going to use my scallop just on the tops, okay? So, like that. So, it's going to go in like this. But I'm also going to put a tag to pull it out on. So, you've got 6 of these, you've got 6 of these, and now you're going to need 12 pieces for the outsides, okay? And these are going to go on either side of this, okay? And these are going to be 2.5 by 4 1/4, so that you have a little trim around it. So we're going to use this binding method that's, I think by Kathy Orta, the deconstructed hinge, maybe, and it's going to go in the bottom of each of these because this is going to stand up this way. So we'll get to that in a minute. But now I used cardstock, designer paper that has white on the back. And so then on the side you can see this white from the cardstock itself, and I don't like that. So what I'm going to do is, because it is dark, I'm going to take each and every one of these pieces and I'm going to blacken the sides. Now, if you're using, you know, like say this cardstock is white and you're making, say maybe for a little girl, and you're using pink, you can use pink on the sides, you can use, you know, green, yellow, whatever. You can just pick out any color that you like. But because this is the designer paper, I don't really want to use one of these and go like this and get it all over. I just want this strictly on the edges. So this is a little different than softening the edges. I'm actually making my edges look sharper doing this. See, I could even use like the vintage photo ink, but because I had a lot of black in this, I really wanted to make this a darker, smokier looking color. So now you're going to take this, and I would use this again. And put these together just like this. And then I would give them another really good press with your bone folder. Okay, so now we've got one nice, and see, looks like a toilet paper tube, doesn't it? Okay, there we go. Now, I really am going to emphasize this by doing the same thing on the edges. I don't want it smudged, I just want it real sharp for this one. Okay, and while I'm there, I'm going to do it on my tag to put my picture on. Okay, take this off, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do for a pull. Okay, here we go. Take some paper that goes with this. These are just little scraps. And, oh, look at that. I decided I wanted to use this Modern Cube punch, and this is by EK Success, and it's just the right size. Or you can use the tab. This is by Stampin' Up, and it's called the extra large round tab. Okay, you can use just a square piece of paper if you want, but I am going to do it this way, and these for me is just about the right size. I'm going to you can cut this first at 1¼ inch strips for this, and then you want a back color. Okay, so I'm using one of the other pieces, so it'll look like that, and you need 2 for each. Take and glue this on here. Okay, and then you cut out 2 of them. So here I've got my strip already done, and then you cut between every 2, and then we're going to take this and we're going to glue this halfway down on this pattern. Okay, so you see the pattern here. Okay, so we're going to go halfway down. So I'm just going to, let's see, I'm going to use some wet glue for this. I just want to go, you can put glue on the whole thing because you want it to shut, but you only need it on the, can you see that? On one piece you want the glue all the way on it, and on the other part you only need it halfway, so because it's half of it's going on either side of your thing. Okay, so then I'm just going to take this and I'm going to slide this and there you have your little tag. And so now with this it's going to go in like this. Now it's not going to go all the way in because you're going to have a 1/2 inch down here that's going to be where this attaches. So it's only going to go in like that. But that's why this was made 5½, even though these are only 4½, so that you can have enough room for your tag to pull out. Now if you want, you don't have to put one of these on. Let me cut another one of these with this. Okay, you can just, you don't have to make these only 4¼ inches. You can make these 5 inches if you want, so that they stick out here and then you can pull them real easy. Or you can do it like I did. Okay, and the reason I do this, this is a perfect size for like a wallet size picture. So you can put one on both sides. You can also put one on these. Let's get a side on here. I'm just going to use this real quick. Okay. There we go on that side. And these you can just put on with your ATG or your little permanent adhesive runners and stuff. Okay, so now this one's done, and you can put this tag in here. Okay, and so on the outside you have enough room for pictures, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sides for pictures, or you got 2 sides, 3 sides, and maybe 1 side you can put lines on to journal about what the pictures are for. Okay, that's one. So let's get a couple more here done. Okay. With all of this, okay, I can take a little mini post-it note up there. Okay, let these dry for a second. Put my ink on them. Ooh, that stays on ink. Has a nice smell to it. I never really noticed it before. Listen to me sniffing it. Okay, now if you do want more of a smudgier vintage look, you can do that just the way, you know, with going around the edges and stuff and make that real soft look. But on this one, I want that real sturdy look. Okay, now it's right around these two. Now these don't have a white core edge, but I still want them to be more uniform with everything else. And these We Are Memory Keepers, these crocodile corner chompers are great because you can do cardstock. You can do chipboard with this. It's wonderful. See, now I've got all 6 of mine done. And you don't have to do them one at a time like the other uh, punches do. I've got the Memory Keepers. Those, and I've got the big and the regular sized crocodile. Like this. Because I do a lot of chipboard. And boy, that just makes it so much easier. Okay. Well, how do you like that? All done. Okay. Now, I do have to cut these. And see, there is a little space in between, so I've actually got to cut that out. So, I'm going to... And then I've got to cut it off of here. And do this side. There's 1, 2. 3. 4. 5. And 6. Okay. Let's just... It's a little hard to see down there on my black cutting board. Okay, now I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to right here at 1 1/4, just so it bends easier. Okay. And just make it bend easier. Now, if you use something besides what I'm using, you of course can do it any way you want. But let's see. I'll show you with this one what it looks like. Oops, it's not quite wide enough. Ah, here we go. Okay. And then see, you can, like right there. See? So this works perfectly fine, but I really like this, and I thought it kind of matched the paperwork, so I thought I'd do it this way. And let's get some more. Okay. You can also, if you think that the sides of this needs darkening, you can do that too. Let's see, let me go with this. There we go. I don't want any bit of white showing anywhere. Two, three. And one more. Okay. I'm using Aleene's Turbo Tacky Glue. This stuff, whoops, there goes my phone. Hold on, everybody.